there's no reason not to love this machine. The user interface is absolutely wonderful. The matrix display of all the titles, downloading and organizing your content is just an absolute dream, and I loved using the app. It's a luxury toy.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Phil Hinton, and joining me are Martin and Matt, AVForums reviewers, and we're going to look at our components of the year, our home AV components of the year for 2024. But before we do that, here's a message from our sponsor, MPB.
The power to tell a story is in us all. The power to change the way we feel, our understanding, change the rules, how we see ourselves, provoke, change history. Together, let's change the bigger picture. Change access. Put camera gear in more hands and keep the story going. Buy, sell, and trade used camera gear. MPB.
And thanks to MPB for sponsoring the show. So let's get cracking. Best AV components of 2024. Let's start at an entry point because we want to get people interested in this site. You know, the AVR's still got a lot of life left in it. It's not dead yet. Let's not give over to soundbars and hi-fi amplifiers where eARC. The AV receiver offers so much more. So value, best value AV receiver of the year, Martin, was?
Well, the Denon X1800H, and Denon is another company that just seems to get it right year on year. They've been doing it for what, 30 years now, or whatever, and sort of multi-channel sound is in their DNA. But the X1800 sounds fantastic with a set of budget speakers. The list of features is absolutely incredible. The graphic user interface, the GUI is fantastic. That seems to get better year on year as well. So easy for somebody to get stuck in with this if they're a beginner, but there's plenty there to tweak and dig in a little deeper if you're a bit more experienced.
Excellent. And swiftly moving on, mid-range.
Well, mid-range, we would also give a gong to the Denon X4800H. With that receiver, you're going to get a little bit more power, a little bit more welly inside your home cinema room, but again, you're also going to have that incredible feature set as well. They're also nicely built, they're nice looking components. So, you know, you can't really go wrong with Denon's mid-price AVRs.
Yeah, I mean, build quality is absolutely fantastic on Denon kit. Let's move to best high-end AV receiver. Again, another review that you did, Martin, here.
Yeah, it's another one I did. So this is really the Onkyo TX-RZ70. This is one, if you want to get a little bit closer to, I guess, sort of flying with the big boys, you're going to pay £2,500 for this unit. But again, you get a real upgrade in the build quality. I mean, the faceplate is absolutely stunning on this thing. There is a very comprehensive rear panel of connections as well. But in terms of the audio, you're getting a little closer to that really sort of weighty, really big overarching sound that you would hope as you go up the ladder.
Yeah, excellent. And you know, we're going to wrap up on the AVRs, and you know, we get told off for this because they want to call them AV amps now, but to me, it's an AVR. Best inspirational AV receiver went to Denon yet again, the AVC A1H.
Yep, this is the top of the top for Denon. So if you like Denon, this is about as much Denon as you can fit. And honestly, if you're trying to go 16 channel, this is where you should be starting. This is what I consider to be one of the best comprehensive 16 channel packages you can do. Phenomenal sound out of this. It's the typical Denon sound, nice vertical connections in the back, loads of sophistication. You got 4 subwoofer outs, and across most of the Denon line, another thing that they did, which was amazing, was they offer you two room correction capabilities. So they added Dirac this year, which is brilliant. So now you can use Dirac or Odyssey and, you know, figure out the licensing and all the rest of it. So loads of options, absolute flexibility, tons of power. What more do you want? It's great.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it reminds me of the Denon of old, the A1H.
Yeah, this is a callback to the 90s for me. Like that one absolutely. That they had. This is it.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't want to do AVR, you want to go separate power amp and processor. Let's look at a value processor. It's actually last year's winner, Martin, and it's, you know, we haven't seen anything that's bettered it, so it gets it again this year.
Well, there's nobody really competing directly in that space. The isolated preamplifier processor is still a relatively rare beast at an affordable price. So yes, that's why it makes it in again. The 13.2 MC1 from Motiva is an absolute workhorse. It's beautifully built. It doesn't come with as many streaming features, so you can only actually stream your music via Bluetooth. But the reality is, for the money, you're just getting fantastic audio. And you can pair this with some budget or mid-price power amplifiers. Motiva make an excellent set of the A models, which you can pair with these. I think they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 amp versions, the A series. So you're kind of made up and ready to go if you want to move into home cinema as a hobby. And I think it's for the hobbyists that Motiva are really focusing their attention.
Yeah. When it comes to high-end AV processors, there's a few to choose from, but we went with the Marantz AV10. Again, a winner from previous year, but it's still an absolutely cracking product. Doug did the review. He absolutely loved it. So yeah, that gets our nod this year. Now we move to power amplifier. You're going to need something to go with the processor. So best AV power amplifier goes to?
Well, that would be the Lingdorf MXA 8400. And I think this is possibly the nicest home cinema amp I've ever heard. It's just beautiful, lyrical, very emotionally engaging audio is the way I would describe it. I mean, spectacular dynamics. It's all wrapped up in a beautiful housing, which matches the preamp processors, the MP series beautifully. And yeah, I was absolutely blown away with this 8-channel amplifier.
So picking up from AV Power Amplifier, that's the Lingdorf. Moving on, best home cinema solution of the year. Martin, this was another review you did. Kaleidoscape, they've eventually starting to come down in price and become a little bit more affordable for, I mean, it's still not affordable, but you know, they used to be so out of reach. Now, you know, AV enthusiasts, they're within reach now.
Yep, definitely within reach. You're hovering around the £5,000 mark now. Now, this does mean that you don't have an extra Tera type server to keep all your movies local. This only has a 1 terabyte drive, so 10 4K movies at any one time. But seeing as you keep all your purchased movies up in the cloud and in the Kaleidoscape library, you just bring them down to your Strato V whenever you need it. And if you've got a 1 gigabit Ethernet connection, that should only take you 10 minutes. If, like me, it's 300 megabits per second, then it will take you about an hour. But if you plan a little bit in advance, there's no reason not to love this machine. The user interface is absolutely wonderful. The matrix display of all the titles, downloading and organizing your content is just an absolute dream. And I loved using the app. So yes, it's $5,000. It's a bit more expensive than a Blu-ray player, but my goodness, the convenience makes up for it. It's a luxury toy.
Yeah, luxury toy, but it gets our home cinema solution prize this year. I think Kaleidoscape got it last year as well. And just wrapping up, best home cinema manufacturer. If you haven't guessed already, Matt, you're going to tell us who it is?
It's the Denon.
So well done to Denon for winning that award. Well deserved. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you again in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.